magical star beings, this is Psychic Siren Tarot, your favorite tarot reader, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what does this person secretly think of you. I'll try to be as accurate as I can, but it is a bit tricky when reading for the collective. If you want something more personal, you can always check in with a psychic for a more in-depth description. Speaking of which, I tried a clairvoyant from Psychic Source, and yes, they're sponsoring today's video. Thank you, Psychic Source. I got matched with a clairvoyant through their site, and honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be that accurate. I gave her no personal info, just asked about my future love life, and somehow she instantly picked up that I'm already in a relationship. She literally said, "Why are you asking about the future without mentioning him?" I was literally speechless, but then I remembered that's kind of what I do too. Still a shocking experience to be on the receiving end of it. She described my future partner as someone who makes me really happy, with great communication and a bond that can handle anything. But the part that really stuck with me, she said she saw my future husband giving me purple flowers. A few weeks later, nothing happened, so I kind of forgot about it. Then we saw a tattoo promo on Instagram. My boyfriend sent me his ideas so I can book, and boom, a purple flower. Not a bouquet, but I'm definitely taking that as a sign. You can chat with gifted advisors however you're most comfortable. Phone, video, or even text. Setting up my account on their website was super easy, and they have this quick little quiz that helps you find a psychic based on what you're looking for, whether it's love, past lives, energy readings, whatever. It made the whole process really personal and intentional. What sets them apart is the level of care and integrity. Only 2% of their applicants actually become advisors, so you know you're speaking to someone who's truly gifted and held to high ethical standards. And they back everything up with a no-risk guarantee. If you're not happy with your last paid reading, it's free. For a limited time, you can use my code Siren at psychicsource.com when checking out, or you can just click the link in my description box below at trypsychicsource.com/siren. You'll get up to 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. You don't have to use it all in one session. You can spread those minutes out across multiple advisors to see who you truly resonate with. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity at no extra cost to you. Oh, and yes, I do get paid for this promo, so when you sign up with Psychic Source, you're feeding a perpetually hungry, slightly dramatic psychic, that would be me, and funding my next impulsive crystal purchase. As you can see, the channel needs some new crystals, but that's all for now. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. So getting back to your pile selection, for pile 1 we have green opal with the Ace of Pentacles, for pile 2 we have Sodalite with the 3 of Wands, and for pile 3 we have Pyrite with the 4 of Cups. So I'm going to give you a few seconds, pick your pile with this person in mind, and see which one you're most drawn to. So once you are done picking a pile, you can find your timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi pile 1, if you chose the green opal crystal and the Ace of Pentacles and this is your reading, we're going to be taking a look at what does this person secretly think of you, for any person on your mind at all. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle your cards. Let's see what comes up. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. So as I tap into the energy, for some of you this may be somebody that is currently on your mind that you're not close with anymore. They may feel like for some of you that they've lost you and they miss you a lot. Because I'm hearing that song by Alexa Gates called Angel, and it goes like, "Angel, I swear I miss you so much," something like that. And maybe this person does want a second chance. For others of you, if you don't resonate with that, then this could just be this person wanting a chance from you, maybe perceiving it as like you're kind of closed off to them and they want you to let them in. But with the Seven of Swords here as your next card, this could be the energy of like, I secretly think you don't trust me or see me a certain way in like a negative light. Even if you don't see them that way, they could kind of be overthinking things, thinking you see them in a negative light and thinking you don't trust them. What I will say is that you should always trust your gut feelings if you are getting that kind of gut feeling. And if something really bad happened between the two of you where you haven't been in contact for a long time here with the Hanged Man, this can be about like waiting for your messages, waiting for you to call, never getting like any sort of communication, sort of being in limbo, not knowing where this connection's going or headed. But this can be due to like something ending in a very like toxic way with the Seven of Swords, or in a very bad way. Like maybe for some of you, you had a bad falling out with this person, or they did something to betray you towards the end of the connection, or did something you were not okay with or comfortable with. So the Six of Cups is showing up reverse, which can talk about someone from the past like wanting to return. So that is a confirmation here. Then we have the Seven of Wands showing up reverse. And we have the Knight of Wands. So I'm hearing the word territorial. This person is very territorial over you, maybe even feeling possessive over you. They may or may not show that, but this is just the energy I'm feeling so far. Now, in terms of what they secretly think of you, they secretly think that you should give them another chance. Whether you are going to or not is entirely up to you, or just give them a chance or a second chance, like I said. But maybe some of you feel like you can't trust this person after what was done, or maybe some of you have this gut feeling about this person that you don't trust them. Like I said, always trust your gut feelings, but this person thinks that you have nothing to be afraid of. They think that they wouldn't do that again, or they wouldn't have bad intentions towards you. So I hear them saying like, oh, just trust me, almost being frustrated at the fact that you're not letting them in. So let me know down in the comments, do you trust this person? Do you not trust this person? Is this accurate? This is what they secretly think, or the vibes they're getting from you. But I will say, if you are having those gut feelings, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have bad intentions towards you, but maybe if you have like this gut feeling that you should stay away, maybe it just means you're not in alignment with each other in the long term. And so, yeah, again, trust your gut feelings. So this person does want to return to you, or does want to reignite something within you, not within you, in the connection. And they secretly think you should let your guard down with the Seven of Wands reverse. They secretly think that you shouldn't have such a big guard up or be so protective over yourself. Now, what you choose to do, if you choose to have a guard up in the beginning, especially like if you're getting to know someone, it's to keep you safe. So that's entirely up to you. If you want to keep those boundaries up, you should. But it's almost like this person, I don't want to say that they're kind of entitled, but it feels like they're kind of feeling entitled to your trust. And the thing is, let's say this person does feel as though, okay, deep down I do have good intentions. That still doesn't mean that they're entitled to your trust, especially if this is the beginning of a connection where you're still getting to know each other and build trust. They should have that patience with you to, show you the kind of person that they are, so that you can trust them. But if they did do something to hurt you or betray you, they can't just expect you to kind of let your guard down when they're the ones that broke that trust in the first place. You get what I mean? So if the situation is like that, then I'd say they're not entitled as a person, but they feel entitled to your trust. So yeah, I don't know how you feel about that, but that's what's coming through. There seems to be this mismatch of expectations on both of your sides, and this is what they secretly think. They secretly think that you wish to take things slower and be cautious, while they wish to rush and be spontaneous and not worry about the future, but just be in the present moment. And this mismatch of expectations can cause a lot of friction within your connection. And I see that happening with you guys in your conversations. There's that kind of underlying energy. So if you do still want to continue on with this person, I would suggest speaking about your expectations to each other, so you can see if you can come to an agreement or come to the same page, if that makes sense. So next we have the Knight of Pentacles. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles as well as the Three of Pentacles reverse. So this person secretly thinks that you two are very different from each other. You want stability, structure, trust, honesty, diplomacy, is what I'm hearing. And also like how do I say this? An energy of patience. Like you would like the other person to be patient with you and give you time, whereas there may be someone that is more spontaneous, rushes into things, impulsive, does things in a whim, kind of is not overthinking about the future. So they're kind of like in that risk-taking mode, whereas you're kind of like cautious, and it's creating this, again, like mismatch of energy where one person like wants to move forward quickly and the other person wants to slow down. And it's not necessarily that anyone is wrong. It's just that maybe both of you want different things or have different expectations, like I said before. So this could be causing what seems like incompatibility between the two of you as friends, a relationship, whatever this connection is. And I think this person's realizing that. I think they secretly think that you both like want different things, and that like since your personalities are so different, they kind of are cautious. Not cautious, trying to find the right word. They're kind of worried about what that would look like for your compatibility, if you could actually make it work, or if these differences would kind of put you on different paths, if that makes sense. But I will say that, especially if this person has done you wrong, or if you are feeling cautious and they are trying to rush with you, especially if it's like the beginning of your connection or if you're like rekindling things, it is a little bit of a red flag. I wouldn't say this person necessarily has bad intentions where they're trying to rush you. It is a little bit of a red flag because sometimes like when someone wants you to make a decision quickly, you don't have like a lot of time to think about it and think if this is what you truly want to do. So we have the Ace of Wands showing up next and the Six of Pentacles showing up reverse. So they secretly think that you don't want to give them any time of day, that you would rather be alone than entertain them as a friend, as a lover, whatever this is. The Hermit reverse. It's kind of like they think that you would rather be alone, and that, like, yes, there's a lot of attraction here if this is romantic, or a lot of like excitement to be around each other, but there may be like clashes that they're noticing in personality, and because of that, maybe they think that you're taking a step back or distancing yourself from them. Now, whether you're actually doing that or not, this is just what they secretly think. This person secretly thinks that they're very lonely, but you're not lonely. Like, you're good on your own, you're independent. I'm gonna be honest, this person secretly feels as though they need a relationship, they need somebody around to be happy. but you're okay on your own. So it kind of feels like they're noticing differences between the two of you again and wondering if that would kind of cause you to not be on the same page about what's next. They secretly feel as though they're having a good time whenever they're around you, but they can't help but wonder if you're having a good time too or not. They secretly think that you're the type of person that wants a lot of effort and consistency to truly be able to open up to a person or let a person in. You need to see consistency from them, from their actions, not just their words. And you need to see who they are as a person, like slowly over time, because you can't just see their character like immediately within the first moments of dating or getting to know one another like in friendship. And so there's this energy of them wondering, like, are we on the same page? Like, is this just fictional? And when I say, is this just fictional, that's what I'm hearing. Like, is this just in my head? Am I making up, like, feelings, or am I making up that we're friends? Do you feel the same? So they're kind of, like, questioning if you feel the same about them or not. They're kind of confused on how to see the situation there. They kind of feel like they're not like getting clear signs or indications from you of whether you like them back or not, or whether you want to be around them or not. And so there's this hesitancy there, like where they don't know how you feel about them. So the Two of Swords reverse, the Five of Wands reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so because a lot of you in this pile, if you resonate with this, take it. If you don't, then ignore it. Because a lot of you in this pile with this person have kind of these personality clashes, you may sometimes have tension in your relationship where both of you don't want to be in that conflict, but somehow you're always like butting heads or bashing your heads against one another metaphorically. And there's like this energy of like, we don't want to fight, but we keep getting into these conflicts. So this person's not sure how to feel about this. Like, they're not sure if you would even like want to continue being in this connection with them or not, because they're aware that maybe it would take a lot of effort from their side to work through this and to try to communicate better and be healthier in that sense. Or maybe they're afraid of that happening because maybe that's happened to them before, where someone else was very different and then they always butted heads with that person, if that makes sense, and they're scared of that happening with you. So with the Two of Swords reverse, there's some indecisiveness coming from their side, where they're just not really sure how to feel about this. They're not just really not sure if you're on the same page. They're not really sure what to do next. Again, with the Hangman, it's kind of like this feeling of I'm in limbo. I'm confused on how to feel about this. So they secretly think that they would want more clarity from you. They would want to get their questions answered, but they don't exactly know how to come to you with these questions. And so I'd say from their side, there is a lack of communication, because I feel like if they were feeling these things, it would be better to just ask you than to keep like wondering about it and never asking. So that's kind of what I see in the energy. A lot of confusion from their side. I see them being like, do you even really want me? That kind of energy. Do you even really want to be around me? They know that you're looking for something more long-term, something more secure, and they don't know if they're able to give you what you need. And so there's another concern of theirs coming through in terms of what they secretly think. They secretly think that you need that, and they're unsure of whether they can give that to you or not. They secretly think that you're out of their league, or that you're too this is what's coming through. I'm not saying this is from their energy. They think that you're too beautiful to be around them. either to be their friend or to be their lover. And of course, like, people don't think in that superficial way most of the time. Like, I'm sure an attractive person won't, like, think in that way, in a superficial way of, oh, I can't be friends with this person because of this. So it's kind of weird that they're thinking that. But maybe there's some insecurities coming from them where they kind of feel like they're not in your league, if that makes sense. Okay, this is what's coming through for me clairvoyantly. They secretly think that you... now, there may be some resentment coming from this feeling or thought, because the energy actually makes me feel uncomfortable, like, saying this, but they secretly think that you're portraying yourself as this innocent person, because I'm seeing a halo, and then I'm hearing Britney Spears' song where she's like, I'm not that innocent, and then I'm seeing this image of you letting go of them to kind of save yourself or to put yourself first. So there's the secret feeling and thought here of like, you'd put yourself before me. And sometimes it is healthy to be selfish, especially in situations where the person is taking away your peace or not being trustworthy or whatever. So they may secretly feel like you're being selfish, or that you would be selfish and choose yourself first. But what kind of rubs me the wrong way is, like I said, I feel like a lot of you aren't selfish like this person thinks you are. I feel like you're just putting yourself and your peace first. And if there is situations where, for maybe few of you, where this person is putting in a lot of effort but you're not putting in that back, then I could kind of understand where this person's coming from. But I feel like for most of you, there's this energy here of you just trying to protect your peace. So yeah, that's kind of what I feel from this person. Again, like a little bit of resentment coming through with that statement. I'm seeing broken promises in my mind's eye. I'm also seeing that this person or you could grind your teeth at night or grind your teeth because of the anxieties and stresses about the situation. Okay, they secretly think that you have bigger goals than them, because in my mind's eye, I'm now seeing like this image of two people golfing, and this is metaphorical. So the one person is golfing and their goal is like here, whereas the other person's goal is to reach here. So they kind of feel like you guys have separate goals, and you're dreaming way bigger than them, or you're like striving to achieve way further than them. That's what they secretly think. They secretly think that they do want to fix whatever is broken between the two of you, or whatever could potentially be a problem. But they don't know if it can be fixed long term, or if it's just going to keep breaking. Because in my mind, I'm seeing an appliance and we're fixing it. But as soon as we fix it, maybe 6 months later, it breaks again. So there's this feeling here of them questioning the longevity of your connection and if things could truly be repaired between the two of you. Yeah, pile one, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like this person's energy that much. Because I keep feeling like this secret resentment they have towards you. And I don't like saying that as a reader, but this is just what's coming through. Because I'm seeing this image now of them like showing you a middle finger. So yeah, I don't really like the energy coming through that much. But that's where I'm going to leave the reading. I hope this resonated. Let me know what you thought of this down in the comments. Did like every message resonate with you? Did you get some insight on this? So yeah, let me know. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you next time. Hi Pal 2, if you chose the Sodalite crystal and the Three of Wands card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what does this person secretly think of you, for any person in your mind at all. Please be aware that this is a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle your cards now. So it's very interesting. I'm seeing different spiders like crawling around a web, small spiders. And this is making me think that maybe there are multiple people coming through, or maybe some of you have multiple people in mind. And what I do also find interesting is this card, the goddess that you chose, was a primordial goddess of creation, and the spider is also associated with creation. So maybe there's this energy here of these people kind of like being in your life for a reason, because she is the mother of the three fates that control destiny. And so maybe these people we're connecting with energetically are part of your fate or destiny. Whether they're meant to be in your life permanently or not, they're kind of helping you create something, helping your direction for the future in some way. They're kind of helping you expand, whether in a negative or positive way. They're still helping you progress. Something like that is coming through in your first message. Now, this isn't what they think, but this is just what I'm feeling from the energy. Let's see what they actually think. So for some reason, I'm hearing the name Sasha for somebody here. It won't resonate with everybody. So let's see what comes through in the cards. Spirit guides of Pile 2. Show me this person's secret thoughts, what they secretly think of Pile 2. So they definitely think you're a real gem, a rare gem, because I'm seeing a rare, like, crystal beautiful gem in my mind. They think you're beautiful inside and out, all these people. Six of Pentacles reverse. Then we have the Ten of Swords. We have the Page of Cups. We have the King of Pentacles reverse. And we have the Six of Cups reverse. So for some of you, I could be picking up on people from your past. And for others of you, I could be picking up on people you've had past lives with. That's just what I'm getting intuitively from the Six of Cups. Or people you just kind of like have history with. A lot of them secretly think that you're gentle, you're a dreamer. You're someone with an amazing and vast imagination, great ideas. They secretly think that you're someone very playful, youthful, maybe even a little bit mischievous in a fun way. They secretly think that you're someone that is more focused on your own development and growth internally rather than on the external world or the material aspect, if that makes sense. Like, you could be focused on your goals and material aspects, but you're more so focused on your internal growth and kind of like bringing happiness to your internal world rather than the external. They secretly think that you have this natural beauty about you physically, and these people secretly think that you've grown a lot over the years. So they definitely see your growth. They secretly think that you're someone that has a compassionate heart, yet you also know how to be mature about situations, like how to look at things from a very logical point of view and how to look at things from kind of like a more mature perspective. You also seem to be a great communicator to these people, and you're also great at planning ahead and seeing some kind of future vision for yourself. So like maybe they kind of think you're a little bit of a visionary. You live in the future. You're always preparing. You're always planned according to these people, and you seem to have your life together. They kind of look at you like that girl or that boy. A lot of people secretly wish to be more like you and to appear more put together like you do. They secretly think that you're always on top of things, and even if you procrastinate or do things last minute, you still get things done on time where it matters the most. And so they notice that maybe you're not perfect in the way you show up. Like, everybody has their days where they maybe feel off, but for the most part, you are showing up to your life with consistency, with discipline, and you're taking action. So you're not just dreaming big, but you're also taking action and forming it into your daily routine. I'm hearing that some of you are in your single era where you're kind of just focused on yourself, focused on your own growth. You've kind of not shut your heart off to love. You're open to love, but maybe you've been through a lot of situations where you've been hurt and betrayed, and so you're trying to heal from that, and you're trying to find people that can actually give you what you need and can actually like fulfill you emotionally. And you're not looking for one-sided relationships because perhaps you've had a lot of those and it really hurt. So some of these individuals see you as closed off currently at the moment. They may not view it as a bad thing. They may just think, okay, this person's healing. Whereas some of them think that you've shut your heart off forever and that you don't like want anybody near you or around you, where you're kind of like just wanting to be by yourself at the moment. Whereas others of them think that it's kind of just what you're going through at the moment while you're healing. And you are going to come out the other side like, okay. Some of these people look back to you with a lot of nostalgia, especially if they're not in your life anymore. And I'm seeing like sad movie scenes in my mind's eye. So maybe they kind of look back with this bittersweet feeling, but at the same time, like missing the memory. I am seeing some kind of warning that is not presenting itself in the cards necessarily about these people, but I feel like this is not everybody I'm picking up on, but maybe a few individuals. Because I feel like I'm picking up on at least like 7 to 8 people. But I feel like 1 or 2 of these individuals, you received some kind of sign or warning to not trust them, either from the universe directly through someone else, or it could have just been like an actual spiritual sign. But that's what I see in my mind's eye. And they're realizing this. They're realizing that something told you to not trust them, and maybe you cut them out. Especially if they betrayed you with the 10 of Swords or hurt you, or if it was a one-sided connection. They are realizing that you were trying to fix things with them, because I see you trying to water this dead flower, trying to bring it back to life. But after a few times of trying and noticing that nothing's really changing, you kind of sadly moved on. Not that you wanted to, but you realized that it wasn't working. So maybe there's some individuals here realizing that you tried, but they didn't put an effort to, fix things. Or maybe they did and it just wasn't working. And so it is sad for them that you've both had to move on from one another, but there is still this feeling of understanding at the moment, even if there wasn't prior. Okay, some of these people with the Queen of Swords think that you're very quiet or shy, but I think that you just don't like entertain or surround yourself with people you don't want to see yourself being friends with or being around, because other people in this group of people I'm picking up on see you the complete opposite, where they see you as chatty, talkative, like a yapper. So maybe you're that type of person that can be sort of shy around strangers, or sort of quiet around people you don't like or don't get along with or you don't know that well. But around people you really trust and know well, you're kind of like very talkative. There is this feeling of you not letting people into your circle easily. And you're not one to gossip either. That's what they secretly think of you. We have the Death card showing up reverse. Some of these people think that you once had no boundaries and now you have a backbone. And some of these people delusionally think that there's a chance that things might not be over. Maybe there is, but for a lot of you, I'm picking up that you don't want these people back from the past. So we have the Hierophant showing up next. We have the Hanged Man. And we have the Eight of Swords reverse. So you used to feel very stuck within your life. You used to feel almost powerless with a lot of like themes of shame. And perhaps you were trapped in situations you felt like you continuously had to heal from. But now that you're out of these situations, it's kind of like you've been able to see things clearly. You've been able to get rid of the poison that you kept having to heal from, that kept being like put in you, metaphorically. And there's this feeling here of like you finally seeing the truth, finally having clarity and feeling free again. So these individuals see you as someone that is now free, and you're not allowing yourself to be held back like that again, or to feel trapped like that again. Maybe you've realized your power and that you're not powerless. So the King of Cups is showing up reverse with the Four of Swords reverse. So these people secretly think that you're someone that struggles to relax. You're probably one of those types of people where if you're not doing something or if you're not busy, it's very hard for you to relax. You might feel like shame and guilt around that. Maybe you are working on that and trying to allow yourself to relax more and rest. But that's what they secretly think of you. Some of these individuals secretly think that you've become emotionally unavailable due to heartbreak. Either like emotionally unavailable like all the time, or just at the moment while you're healing. A lot of these individuals think that you're someone very smart, wise, and you see things coming from a distance. You're not one to look at like small minuscule details that don't make sense, but you look at the bigger picture and you look at the big vision. And you kind of know what battles to pick wisely. That's what's coming through. Like, you're not gonna stress over every little inconvenience, or you're trying not to, because I feel like some of you could be high strung, like if you let every like inconvenience get to you, but you're trying to not let every like little thing stress you out, if that makes sense. And even when it comes to conflicts, you appear as very classy. Like, sometimes you will speak your truth if you feel like it's necessary, but sometimes you also decide to let things slide when you just see that it's just going to lead to a fight, or when you see that it's just not worth it trying to explain to this person if they're not going to take accountability or learn or even see my perspective. So it's kind of like you've learned to pick your battles wisely, and you've learned who's actually valuable to keep around, not in a superficial way, but in a way of like who's actually going to heal and grow with you and not hold you back, if that makes sense, or keep you stuck. Especially people that like can't take responsibility for their actions. You don't want to associate yourself with people like that. So this is what they secretly think of you. We have the Lover showing up next, and the High Priestess. You're someone with a deep spiritual way of loving. You could have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Venus. Because I'm getting like this very intense spiritual way of loving, where it's like you love people on a soul level, if that makes sense. It feels very deep, like your love. And I do feel like a lot of these people miss it, or want it, or crave it. There's something about you being very physically affectionate, a hopeless romantic, but also very beautiful on the inside and out. Like I said before, even with Aphrodite showing up, you're probably someone that stands out in a room in terms of physical attractiveness, but you also have a beautiful soul, a beautiful aura and energy about you. You're possibly even an intuitive lover or an intuitive kind of friend, in the sense of, you know when your friend is going through something, you know when someone's just in a bad mood, you know what they need, what they want, without them even asking for it. So there is that kind of feeling here of like, you may be calling up your friend out of the blue, being like, I feel like I need to check up on you, and they're like, in their mind, how did you know that I was going through it? So there is that kind of feeling coming through of them feeling seen by you and feeling known and feeling like you're always going to pick up on little things about them and their mood and what they need. And they do appreciate that. You're a very attentive person, very nurturing in that sense. And you're not one to like to feel trapped in connections or feel suffocated, not in the sense of, like, let's say someone is being clingy towards you, you'd probably like that. I mean it in the sense of possessiveness. Like, you don't want to feel controlled or feel like a person isn't allowing you your freedom. That's like one of the biggest turnoffs for a lot of you in this pile. So this is what they secretly think of you. So that is all I am getting for you. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this resonated down in the comments below, and I can't wait to see you next time. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose the Pyrite Crystal and the Four of Cups, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what does this person secretly think of you, for any person on your mind at all. Please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. And let's go ahead and shuffle your cards. So what I do feel initially as I connect to your energy is that I could be connecting to someone that is a little bit older than you, or someone that had to kind of like be more mature growing up. Like, they were never ever allowed to make mistakes. Maybe they had to grow up quickly or fast. So I am picking up on like a very responsible person, a person that's almost too responsible and doesn't allow themselves to like make mistakes or have fun. And I feel like they weren't really allowed to like be a kid or be a teenager and, you know, kind of make mistakes in life, or be a little bit reckless. So there's this feeling here of them almost like wanting to call you out in a big brother, big sister kind of way. Not in a way of them like being mean or judgmental, but in a way of like wanting to call you out on certain things. So just be warned, I'm not like meaning this in a bad way, but this is what's coming through. So they kind of see you as someone that gets bored very fast. You're possibly someone that likes to change your hair color a lot, likes to change things in your room a lot, likes to change up your routine whenever you get bored. You're someone that needs spontaneity, adventure, like a spark in your life. Too much routine is not really great for this pile, but I feel like no routine at all leads you to chaos. So having a little bit of that and freedom and a balance of that would be great for this pile. It kind of feels like this person wants to give you constructive advice, that you need a little bit of routine, but that you also need a little bit of freedom to be your free spirit itself and to kind of explore and experiment with different things, because you could be the type of person that like maybe has a specific aesthetic and then you get bored of it after a while. So you're someone that needs like freedom, variety, change, things like that. That's what this person secretly thinks of you. But they do think that sometimes when you do get bored with your life, you do tend to self-sabotage. That's what they secretly think. And they secretly think that sometimes that leads to you not leaving things, but maybe losing people or losing things in your life that are stable that would be good for you in the long term. So they don't want to see you self-sabotage good things in your life. This is their perception. So even if you don't agree with this, this is what they secretly think. The Magician is showing up, the Seven of Pentacles, the Death card reverse, the King of Swords reverse, and the Ace of Wands. So some of you could have like a goth aesthetic, dark aesthetic. I'm seeing that. You could have very shiny, soft, healthy hair. This person admires it and wishes they had hair like yours. They think your hair is your best feature. They also think that you are a very attractive person, even if they're not necessarily attracted to you per se. Like, let's say if this is a friendship, they still do admire your beauty or handsomeness. Take whatever resonates. For a lot of you, I do feel like this is a friendship though, with a lot of love in it. Almost like the type of love where we can't like hide things from one another, where the other person knows us like in and out, where we're comfortable showing all of ourselves to the person, flaws, great things about ourselves, etc. So there's this feeling of like you two knowing each other really well, like the back of each other's hands. They secretly think that sometimes you hold on to things and get attached to things or people so much to the point where it hurts you. I'm hearing the song by Clairaudience, I Love You So Much It Hurts, as I say that. So maybe that is a song to listen to. Maybe this person isn't looking at you in a judgmental way, but they're kind of like feeling sad whenever you do get hurt because you're so attached to a person or thing. But sometimes this person can come across as judgmental to you, where maybe like sometimes you guys have had fights about this because maybe sometimes you kind of feel like this person's looking down at you. I don't feel like this person is intentionally doing that. But I'm also not trying to invalidate your feelings, even if that isn't their intent. If it does still hurt, you are allowed to communicate that. But I do feel like this person can be very critical, not because they don't love you, but that's just, I want to say that's the way they are. I don't mean to excuse their behavior, but I feel like they've always been a very critical person, even towards themselves. And sometimes maybe when they speak to you, they don't realize how it's affecting your feelings or your confidence. And so if that is like a problem in your connection, I do suggest you to communicate it out, because I do potentially see them saying, sorry, I love you, like I never meant to hurt you. So that is coming through if that is a theme that's ongoing in your connection. And when I say that's just who they are, again, like I don't want to excuse their behavior if it is hurting you. Your feelings are valid. And even if that's who they are, it doesn't mean that they're exempt from working on themselves or improving or, taking responsibility for that in a way. And so there's this energy of them secretly thinking you are someone with a lot of potential. You are someone that is a hard worker, but sometimes maybe you lack the consistency or the drive or the motivation to keep going at times. Like you could be the type of person that gets like really motivated and excited about something like a new project, and then you maybe lack the ability to follow through on that. But I believe that maybe a lot of you, that is your gift, that's not your shortcoming, and you should follow that inner joy. Try to do projects that light you up, but also maybe try to realize when you're putting things off that are important. And if something just isn't like lighting you up anymore, then maybe you can discard some of those projects so that things aren't building up in your vicinity, in your environment of like things you haven't completed. Does that make sense? So I believe balance could help in that sense. Well, that's what's coming through in the energy. This person thinks that you shouldn't make yourself less or water yourself down to make others comfortable. And they think that you're a very fearless person. That is something they admire about you, a strength they see in you, where they wish they could be more like you. They wish they could be more of a risk taker like you, because you're bold, you take risks, and sometimes that does lead to losses, but sometimes that does lead to great wins. Whereas this person is like very much an overthinker, where sometimes opportunities pass them by because they overthink too much, and they don't take the opportunities as they come. So that is one thing this person does admire about you and see in you, where they secretly think that's a strength of yours. They also secretly admire your feistiness, pile 3, because you're someone that will just speak your mind. And if someone is like being rude to a friend of yours or someone you love, all hell is going to break loose. This person just admires how you will come to like someone's defense and almost like chew that person's head off, metaphorically. Like, to come to another person's defense. You're not rude to like just anybody, but when it comes to defending yourself or defending others, you know how to do that in a very like feisty, harsh way, but it's admired by this person. This person's not viewing it in a negative light. You're possibly someone that also loves self-care, and this person likes that about you. And you're the type of person that probably like treats yourself a lot. This person does like that about you, and they kind of have learned from you to treat themselves more, because they're possibly the type of person that like doesn't allow themselves to always have nice things. So then they kind of learn from you that they can have the nice things and enjoy the nice things and not put it off or starve themselves of joy, I want to say. They think that you are a pleasure-seeking person, dopamine-seeking, I want to say as well. So next we have the King of Pentacles showing up reverse, and the Ten of Cups. Trying to figure out what this energy is that I'm picking up on. So I'm hearing please try, and then I'm feeling heartbreak in my heart chakra. So perhaps this is like them wanting you to try something new or put an effort into the connection. Or it could be like maybe you're closing yourself off to good things and they want you to try it, because maybe it breaks their heart to not see you put yourself out there, if that makes sense. Or their heart breaks if you're not putting an effort into the connection. So take what resonates for you, but that's a secret thought coming through. They love you so much that when you're going through pain, they go through pain too. That's what I also see. Five of Wands reverse, the Strength card, and the Page of Pentacles. So you two could possibly be so close that sometimes when you guys do fight or have conflict, which is not all the time, you guys kind of fight like siblings. It feels like a kind of friendship where it's like this person's been your best friend for years, that you're like sisters or brothers at this point. It kind of feels like that close of a connection. Or for some of you, this is actually a brother or sister I'm picking up on. But anyways, I do feel like sometimes they feel like you guys balance each other out in a way where their weaknesses are your strengths and your strengths are their weaknesses. So there's this energy of like, we work better as a team together because we kind of help each other where we lack something, and we strengthen each other where the other person lacks something, if that makes sense. They feel like they know you in and out, like they've gotten to know you fully, and that they're fully invested in this connection till the end. Okay, so they also secretly think that sometimes connections have ended in your life due to a lack of communication either from your part or the other person's part. And this is not in this connection, but other connections. This is what they've noticed. So this could be like, let's say some of you take really long to respond or reply, or this could be like an actual lack of like communication in the sense of maybe you're having a problem in your relationship and you're not communicating through it, or the other person isn't communicating in either one of those ways. So maybe this person has noticed connections end in your life where you didn't want it to end, but it ended because of that. They also secretly think that you've had people in your life where you felt like you had to change yourself to be loved by them. And they almost want to affirm to you that you don't need to change yourself to be loved. Again, you are not too much. Like, you don't have to make yourself palatable to be liked by others or to be loved. You are perfect and whole just the way you are. Of course, you know, everybody can improve and can grow, but you are whole as you are and good enough as you are. And that's kind of what this person wants to say to you. If they could have like a heart-to-heart conversation with you. They secretly feel as though they'd never want to leave or lose you. And that you're so ingrained in their life that something would be missing without you there. Not in the sense of they do need you, but it's not in the sense of like, oh, I need you or I'm going to lose myself. It's more in the sense of, if you were missing from my life, you've been in my life for so long that you've become part of my life. And if you're not there, it's just going to feel like something's missing. So we have the Fool showing up reverse. Then we have the World showing up reverse. The Ace of Cups reverse. And the Page of Wands. So they could be like a very serious person, whereas you could be very like air signy or fire signy, where you could be flighty at times. You could be kind of like fiery in nature, where, like I said before, you're kind of spontaneous, free-spirited, that kind of energy. So maybe you guys are kind of like opposite attracts kind of connection. And they do think that sometimes, again, like, you hang on to things that are already over with the World reverse, where it's like you're still attached to something or someone that is no longer meant to be in your life. So it almost feels like this person wants to tell you to let go. They do think you're an optimist and they love that about you. However, they are seeing things in a realistic perspective from the outside. And while they're not attached, they might see things differently. Whereas when we're attached, we might see the potential and hang on because of the potential. Whereas this person is looking at it realistically and practically, and they just don't want to see you get hurt, like, or get disappointed by being hopeful about something and then it disappointing you. So they're not saying that you should change that or be realistic, because they love that you are an optimist and that you do look at the positive, brighter perspective. But again, I feel like this person's just very protective over you, where they don't want to see you hurt or disappointed. So that's also what's coming through in their secret thoughts of you. So that is all I'm seeing for you, Pal 3. Let me know how this resonated down in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I can't wait to see you next time.